EGM Network.
Treasure Coast Connector. Connecting residents and businesses of the Treasure Coast. And here's your host, Ellen Contreras.
Welcome to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras. This episode is partially sponsored by Libby Weissman and her team at SeniorTransitionNavigator.com and LuxuryHomesOfTheTreasureCoast.com. So she and her team, they work with seniors and their families to help them with decisions on living their best life. Lots of services she provides, including downsizing, decluttering, packing, moving, relocation, real estate sales, and more. For a consultation, call Libby at 772-783-2800 or visit www.SeniorTransitionNavigator.com or LuxuryHomesOfTheTreasureCoast.com. So now there is a nonprofit animal sanctuary in Palm City. They are dedicated to rescuing and caring for abused, abandoned, and neglected farm and exotic animals. Now this sanctuary provides a safe and loving forever home for animals while also educating the community about compassion, rescue efforts, and responsible animal care. So joining me in the studio today to talk about Legacy Critter Creek Ranch Foundation, let me rephrase that, Toby's Legacy Critter Creek Ranch Foundation, I have Timothy Morrell and Alicia Villegas, and they, along with their team, the volunteers, the supporters, they have created a place where animals are given a second chance and visitors can experience the powerful connection between people and animals. We have a lot to talk about today, so welcome to the show. Oh, welcome to welcome
Good
Tim.
To see you.
Welcome,
Good
Alicia.
To
Thank you. So yes, Toby's Legacy Critter Creek Ranch Foundation. That is a big name, and there's a reason behind that big name. And before we talk about that, what I'd love to hear is a little bit about your backgrounds and why you wanted to be a part of this educational animal sanctuary. Tim, is it okay if we start with ladies first?
Absolutely.
Alicia, give us a little bit of an overview.
Yeah, so I became involved with Critter Creek Ranch, also known as Critter Creek Ranch, back in 2016. I was a stay-at-home mom at the time, and I had backyard chickens that I was trying to rehome. So I remember getting online, posting them, hoping they'll end up like in a safe place. You never know online, right? Of
course, sure.
So Millie ended up taking my chickens.
Oh.
And they were homed at Critter Creek Ranch. Not too long after that, Millie brought me on board as a caregiver.
You were so besotted by what they were doing, by their mission, that you also had to be a part of it too. I love that.
Yep.
And how about you, Tim?
Well, Tick and Millie Olson were one of my first clients. I was a trial attorney down in Palm Beach County, and they had a place called the Banana Patch, and the Banana Patch was a wild, overgrown place that just happened to be on the waterfront, right next door to multi-million-dollar movie star houses.
Oh, wow.
That didn't really want a banana farm right there.
Yeah.
And it got all kind of attention. It was a big case, but I got to know them through that, and we ultimately, that all worked out. And then they started to buy property up here, and they worked with me to help them get the property. But eventually, they didn't have kids of their own. And when my parents passed away in the 90s and early 2000s, they stepped in. They were the special grandparents. Dick and Millie were special grandparents. They came to all my kids' sporting things, to graduations, to Christmas holidays, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And eventually, they knew that they wanted to leave this behind them. When I knew them with the Banana Patch, it was a menagerie of animals then. They had parrots, and they had dogs, they had Dobermans, and they had, just you name it, they had crazy animals. Again, that's why the neighbors didn't love them so much in Boca, but we worked it out. But eventually they came here and they bought all this property, and it became their mission, as you described it and Alicia started to say.
Yeah.
And they, like I say, they didn't have kids of their own, and so they left it to me because I knew all of the all of the ins and outs of their property. I knew the real estate. And it's funny you talk about the big name, Toby's Legacy Critter Creek Ranch Foundation. Originally, they just called it Critter Creek, which you can't really do that legally because there's lots of places called Critter Creek.
Okay.
And after they passed away, the land uses and things, this is all residential homes in there.
Sure.
You can't have just an ongoing commercial or business ranch, working ranch there. So they were grandfathered in before they passed away. But after they died. Then it became to me to figure out how to make it work with the county and the officials. So the way we made it work was to create a 501c3 nonprofit educational foundation, a sanctuary. And we changed you couldn't even call it Toby's Legacy. It turns out Toby's Legacy was also somebody's horse named Toby in Texas. So we had to have the whole name so that it's our own name, just in case. Alicia probably didn't know that. That's probably more than you want to know. But once we did that, then I had to make it clear that what we're doing now, everything we do has to be educational and it has to have community support. And so we do all kinds of things, and like the day-to-day on the ground, like most of that sort of stuff when we work with kids, I turn that back to Alicia. Like you've had a tour of Girl Scouts there last week.
Yeah.
Tell them about that sort of thing, because that does two things. It's educational. And it grows our community support.
So we're going to talk about that in a second. But what I want to know, because people are hearing Toby. Is Toby a person? Of course not. There is Millie and Toby. So if you can talk about Millie and Toby.
It was a dog, and I'm going to turn over because I didn't have the exact breed right. Alicia knows the breed of the dog, but it was a smaller dog.
Yeah,
I did not
a Doberman.
But yes, I only knew the Dobermans.
Right.
Yeah. So Toby comes from Millie's first dog as a child. She probably was around maybe 8 or 9 years old. And Toby sparked something in her as far as loving animals.
To want to save them,
save them. Yeah. So she ultimately ended up, naming her foundation after her first dog, Toby.
Yeah, I love that. And there is a very charming black and white photo of Millie as a child with Toby on your website. I included it in the graphic for people to see. And so now you definitely, you said you care for a wide variety of animals. So I'd like to hear first about the situations that some of these animals have come from, and what does rehabilitation and daily care look like right now at Critter Creek Ranch?
Yeah, so majority of the animals there have been there since day one when Critter Creek, when Millie founded the place back in 1997. During that time, she either people reached out to her to want to surrender some of their animals through adoption.
But we're talking about goats and bunny rabbits and chickens.
Quite the variety, yeah. So there were over 80 goats at one point.
Wow.
There's miniature horses. There's chickens. There's a lot of waterfowl, which include geese, swans, ducks. We have a couple rabbits, but they're aging. And so Millie did have more animals in the past, which included turkeys. I think she had ferrets. So there was quite the variety.
Okay.
And we still have a variety. We have parrots. We have an emu named Claudia.
Oh, okay.
So, and they all have their stories.
Is she nice? Because there's an emu on YouTube named Karen that is in Canada, and she's not very friendly. But Stanley, her boyfriend, is. So
Claudia is wonderful.
Tell me about Claudia.
Claudia's a rare breed because she's not like any other kind of emu. She's the sweetest, I think, out of all the animals on the farm. What do you think, Tim?
Wow. Let me just say that when I first got to know Claudia had a tendency to want to not be where she was supposed to be. And so
a free range emu. No.
And she would take off. And so the problem would be the caregivers would be changing shifts. And there was one particular day, I remember it was pouring down rain. I had just come back from a thing where I was dressed in a suit, court litigation thing. And I had to figure out how to get Claudia back to Millie's house.
Oh,
back to where she should be.
Hilarious.
And that was an adventure. But I can just say, Claudia has become all of our best friends. She comes, she waits for you when you drive up there. She comes to see you. So if you call her, she comes. Yes, she's amazing.
She is.
She learned Alicia learned how to give Claudia showers and feed her out of her hand. That was kind of scary for me the first time.
Yeah.
I'll let Alicia tell you about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have, caretakers. You have people that come and make sure, if there's an animal that's sick, there are people that help with the rehabilitation and things like
yeah. So we have caregivers, and they help with the what needs to be done on a daily basis. And as I mentioned earlier, they're aging. So a lot of them are seniors, so they require more than, a younger, healthy animal.
Okay.
So they help us with that. And then also we have veterinarians that come on site and help us with, either annual visits, vaccinations, treatments for whatever's going on.
And then you have groups visiting. You were mentioning Girl Scouts. So tell us about the groups that can come.
Yeah, of course.
And do you do tours for people?
Yeah, so we do give private tours. They're scheduled in advance. We're a working ranch, so we can't just have our doors open to the public daily. So we schedule it around our animal care plans and things like that, or projects. But yeah, we do have groups that come in. Sometimes it's private families, schools, other nonprofits that want to bring their residents to tour and be educated. For example, this past weekend we had a Girl Scout group come in. That's been our second one so far this year. And so Girl Scouts, they earn badges. So they came and they learned about the animals, the wildlife, just everything there is to learn on a sanctuary with animals. And then they ended up earning their little badge for it.
Oh, that's great.
And then we also are a business partner with Clark's Learning Center, which is through Indian River State College. And so they have students in their career department class where they need intern hours. So
that's
they'll
fantastic.
come. I think I get a few of them every semester, and they come and they get to be hands-on with the animals, work with the caregivers, learn, and just see if there's something that will spark a career path for them, whether it be in veterinarian or something along those lines. And sometimes we get interns that want to do something totally different, but they want to come to the sanctuary intern just to see if it would spark maybe a different interest.
I love that. So Cindy, the show producer, says we must take a break, but I just love hearing about the animals, and I want to go on a tour too. But we're going to have you do your contact information in the second half. So everybody listening, just wait. We'll be right back. So what I'll do for the
Tired of pool chores draining your weekend? Deja Blue Pool Service provides the expert skimming and chemical balancing you need for a crystal clear paradise. For Vero's most reliable professional care, Google Deja Blue Pool Service. Keep it clean, keep it blue.
Big news, Treasure Coast. Your favorite mortgage team just got even better. Introducing the same trusted faces you know and love, now with Union Home Mortgage.
Hi, this is Shannon Pohl.
Hi, this is Lucy Cranker.
And these high-producing team members bring decades of experience, unwavering honesty, and hearts of gold to every home loan. And here's the best part. Same local processing, underwriting, and appraisers you rely on. Contact Union Home Mortgage.
Visit us online at shannonCpohl.com
and LucyCranker.com.
Hey, you! Host your very own show every week at Evergreen Media Network in Vero Beach. Go live to YouTube and Facebook with up to 4 people and your very own producer. Be heard on more than 15 podcast platforms and local radio. All you have to do is show up and talk. Your guests can join from anywhere in the world. It's easy to get started with the largest podcast studio on the Treasure Coast. Contact Evergreen Media to tour the studio.
They're coming. The Blue Angels will roar over the skies of Vero at the Vero Beach Air Show, presented by Piper Aircraft Inc. See, hear, and feel the power of the Blue Angels, the MiG-17, and the McCart Jet Motorsports Home Wrecker Jet Truck. Saturday and Sunday. Experience the dazzling fireworks extravaganza on Friday night. The Vero Beach Air Show, May 15th, 16th, and 17th. Presented by Piper Aircraft Inc. Get tickets online at VeroAirshow.com.
Welcome back to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras, and I am with Alicia Villegas and Tim Morrell of Toby's. And I just want to make sure I get this right. Toby's Legacy Critter Creek Ranch Foundation. It's an animal sanctuary in Palm City, Florida. And we were talking about the animals and people interacting with them, but this is not a petting zoo. It is an educational facility and a sanctuary for these animals that needed to be rehomed, but it's not a petting zoo, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. And then we were talking about the different groups in the first half, but before we go on to some of these other groups, what is your contact information? Phone number, website, that sort of thing?
Yeah, so the best way you guys can contact us is through our website, www.crittercreekranch.org. And also, if you wanted to volunteer, there's an online tab there where you can submit a volunteer application, but all of our contact information is on that website, and that's www.crittercreekranch.org.
And you are located in Palm City,
Correct.
Florida.
And I would just throw in there, too, we have a Facebook page, and I think it's under just Critter Creek
Critter
Ranch.
Creek Ranch, just make sure it's the Palm City one.
Yeah, make sure it's Palm City, because there are other Critter Creek Ranches, but it's Facebook, too. You can find us.
Very good. And there is a Facebook link on the website.
Correct.
And we were mentioning some of the groups in the first half that visit for educational purposes, but then you mentioned during the break some other groups. Please share that now. I'd love to hear it.
Absolutely. Well, for me, for many years, as an attorney, I was working with the Military Order of the Purple Heart at Riviera Beach at the Veterans Hospital, and mostly to help them with, I should call it scam-proofing their lives.
Yeah.
Because they had taken advantage of all the time, and so as a lawyer in litigation, I could help them. But then once I took over and was involved in this farm, some of the commandants there asked me about could they come, because a number of them have PTSD.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And they started to come. They would do birthday events and things like that. And all I can say is they would come in, and you could tell there was something wrong because they were stone-faced. But by the time they went through, somebody like Alicia would take them through, or some of her helpers, and they come back, and it was a remarkable change. We have pictures that are posted on the website of people where you can see just the interaction with the animals. The same sort of thing with autistic children that have been there.
Yeah, you were mentioning the ARC.
ARC, Advocates for the Rights of the Challenge. And we have a couple of different groups, some from Martin County, some from Palm Beach, some from St. Lucie, I think. But Alicia is the one that takes them through. I just see the happy ending at the faces at the end. Alicia, you talk about that, because that's one of the. It gets to me, my heart, when I see that, because I know that's what Millie and Dick would really love to be knowing about.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you know what I want to do very quickly, though, because I'm looking at the time, is there are so many moving parts that goes into the care of these animals. Animals are coming to you, and you're helping to keep them healthy, to bring them back to health, maintain their health, and you have a staff, but you have volunteers. So this is the big ask, and people who know me know I'm not shy to ask for things. They are an amazing nonprofit. So how can the community support? Can you talk about the ways in which they can how do they donate how do they make donations, financial contributions, or volunteer? How do they go about that?
Yeah, so the one thing that would really help us is obviously donations. There's different ways that you can contribute. You can get on our website and contribute that way by clicking Donate Now. We also have a Venmo. It's under Toby's Legacy, crittercreekranch.com. And then if you have any issues finding it, you can always contact us. We also have an Amazon wish list.
Okay.
So that's another way you can contribute.
And that link is on your Facebook page.
That is on our Facebook page, yes. And if you have, again, any issues finding it, you can just call us or contact us. There's items on there that we use on a daily basis for the animals. And then also we have a fundraiser going on right now for our miniature horses.
Okay.
So we have a few miniature horses that have COPD, which is equine asthma.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we are in need.
That's right. They need little nebulizers.
Yeah. So they need a nebulizer. We currently have one that's several years old, but we have more minis that have been diagnosed with it recently, so it'd be very helpful if we can get a second unit for them. And then plus all the expense for the medication itself on a monthly basis. So we're running a fundraiser right now for that.
Now
as
we
well.
have a graphic. Here it is again. I just want to bring it up. 772-287-8572. This is for the iHeartRadio and the bazillion podcasts that this show is on. Thank you very much to Evergreen Media for that. And so 772-287-8572, CritterCreekRanch.org. Okay, very good. Now I want to circle back to the groups, and you were talking about the veterans and what a life-changing, like the emotions that you see in the people. But what about the kids? What were some of the things that you witnessed about some of the kids coming?
Yeah, so we get groups in there where kids are autistic, they're nonverbal, they come in very shy. So we take our time with them when they come in. But we've had children leave like a 360 as far as their personality when they first came in, and then when they leave, a totally different kid. And then, a lot of these kids have not touched animals, just because of their sensory, like they don't want to touch. And they leave actually touching a horse.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's amazing to see. Yeah.
I love that. And especially with the miniature horses, that's not as scary as maybe a very tall, full grown, stallion or something like that. So what would you like to add?
It's what's busting out of me right now is the retirees that we've helped.
Yes.
We do a lot, and we have a thing that we call the limo. It's a huge golf cart that's real fancy with a lot of extra cushy seats.
Okay.
And I'm again put that back to Alicia. We've traveled to assisted living places, and we brought assisted living people to the farm, and you would think that might be a problem, but no, it's an amazing experience. But again, Alicia's the one on the ground with that, so you tell that story.
Yeah, so we've had nursing homes come in with their residents, either through memory care or some other department, and again, they just come in. And it's a 360 as far as when they leave. They're just amazed, and it just brings something out of them that wasn't there before.
Just a new lease on life almost, because they're just so used to their day to day, and it's like a field trip. And when we were kids, we loved field trips. Cindy, she told me that we only have a minute left to chat before I need to close. So with your last 60 seconds, what would you like to leave people with?
Well, for me, I'm just going to say my responsibility is making sure that this place has what it needs. And as you already heard from Alicia, I mean, the older animals, the amount of care, and it's not just that, it's the environment. There's 16 acres that we take care of. And Dick Olson, the husband in the Dick and Millie equation, he was all about the waterway and making sure everything environmentally was great. And that takes a lot of work. And without the community support, without the donations, we can't make this last.
Yeah.
And so that's for me. But Alicia can tell you more about this, like the nebulizer and things like that.
And every little bit goes a long way.
Absolutely.
So somebody can go to your Facebook page and look at the wish list, and every now and then just purchase something for delivery to you. That's awesome. Somebody, maybe there's seniors. Oh no, we only have a few seconds left.
CritterCreekRanch.org.
Yeah, CritterCreekRanch.org. But even seniors that want to volunteer their time.
Yes.
That's
that
a
goes
really
long
good
way.
thing. Okay. So I just want to say to both of you, thank you so very much. And I want to talk to you after, because I want to do a tour with some people, including my husband. And I just want, throw buckets of money their way. That's all I have to say about this.
All right.
Okay. And with that said, my name is Ellen Contreras, host of Treasure Coast Connector. I hope that everyone has a safe, productive, wonderful week. And until next week, I miss you already.